Good morning. Today's topic scaffolding and types of the scaffolding. This is in the subject building materials, construction and planning. The topic coming under the unit 4 scaffolding and types of the scaffolding. And today's class we are going to be discussing about the the content in the scaffolding and types of the scaffolding is first we have to understand the topic or understand the term scaffolding and the definition of the scaffolding. What are the uses of the scaffolding and what are the materials that we are going to be using for the scaffolding and what are the types of the scaffolding. These different types of the scaffolding based on the construction purposes and other purposes and where we are going to be using the different types of the scaffolding in the various constructions. The first is that you have to understand that the scaffolding. The scaffolding is a temporary structure, or we can say that the temporary platform we are going to be provided or we are going to be constructed so to accessible for the labor as well as the accessible for to lift the materials from one level to other level, and also accessible of the labor from ground level to the higher level or one level to the other level. That is possible by using the temporary construction in the form of a platform. So that we are going to be called as a scaffolding. And what are the materials that we are going to be using for the scaffolding? Scaffolding is going to be classified based on the material and based on the construction purposes. So scaffolding based on the scaffolding is going to be classified based on the materials is one is wooden or the timber scaffolding, and second one is the tubular or the steel scaffolding. So wooden or the timber, here the material we are going to be using wood or the timber, where the availability of the timber is abundant. In that cases, we will go for the timber or the wooden scaffolding. And also so the cost of construction for this wooden or the timber scaffolding is less when compared to the steel or the tubular scaffolding, where the steel and tubular scaffolding the cost of manufacturing cost is very high because of we are going to be using the durable and the hard and durable material we are going to be using in the form of a metal, and the steel is going to be costly. That's why it is expensive. But one advantage is by using the tubular or the skilled scaffolding is that one we can go for the multiple number of purposes or multiple number of times you can able to use it. Wear and tear will be less in the case of the steel or the tubular scaffolding. In the case of timber or the wood scaffolding is the durability, or we can say that the multiple number of times we have to be used is going to be less. So we are going to be once we are going to be manufactured or we are going to be preparing the wood or the timber scaffolding is only for one time purpose. But in the case of tubular or the skills scaffolding, we are going to be manufactured or we are going to be prepared. We can use, you can go for multiple number of times you can able to use it. And we are going to be preparing for the scaffolding as also is easy because of the we can say that the tubular manufacturing. So that is there by using the scaffolding by the timber or timber and wood or the tubular scaffolding. Then based on the construction, the types of the scaffolding will be various types are there. Now we will go for one by one. So what are the uses and how we are going to be define the scaffolding and what is the objective or the uses of the scaffolding. Then we'll go for the types of the scaffolding. The scaffolding is a temporary structure to support the original structure, as well as the workman used it as a platform to carry on the construction works. So main thing is it is going to be temporary structure or the platform we are going to be provided. Once the construction is going to be over, then we are going to be dismantle or we are going to be remove it. This is for accessibility of the people from one level to the other level to carry out that the various stages of the construction. Means in the construction we are having that the two stages will be there, or we can say that the two types of the structures we are going to be built. One is substructure, another one is going to be called a superstructure. So substructure will be below the ground level, that we are going to be called as a foundation. Superstructure above the ground level, that we are going to be called as superstructure. Superstructure is going to be consisting of, so we are having that the structural members of column, beam, a slab, and various access we are going to be provided as the staircases we are going to be provided, and openings into the construction is going to be called door and window openings we are going to be provided. So this is all coming under the superstructure, and the substructure will be comprises of the foundation. So in the foundation level as well as in the superstructure level, also both the cases we are going to be using that the scaffolding. So that is the main objective. We are going to be using that the scaffolding. You prepare the formwork for the concreting. So then for that also we are going to be using the scaffolding. Later onwards we have to carry out the superstructure in the form of the walls. So that will be comprises of the brick masonry. So then after that we are going for the plastering, we are going for the pointing, and we are going for the painting. All the cases, in all the stages, we are going to be using the scaffolding. The types of the scaffolding is vary with the type of the construction work. Means here the construction work is varying, that we are going for either we are going for preparing the farm work. One is the construction work, or otherwise we are going for the walls in the form of the brick masonry, or otherwise we are going for finishing work in the form of plastering, or otherwise we are going for the painting, or otherwise we are going for the repair work. So these are all coming under the type of the construction work. We are going to be using the scaffolding. Each and every stage we use it, that the temporary platform or the structure is going to be called as scaffolding. The scaffolding, already we discussed, that is made up of timber or the steel. It should be scaffolding is made of timber or steel. It should be stable and strong to support workmen and other construction materials placed on it. So here we had to be make sure that your temporary platform were going to be constructed in the form of a scaffolding will be a strong, rigid, and safe. These are the three conditions has to be satisfied. So then the people can able to work safely in the platform, or we can say that the scaffolding it as in the scaffolding. So this is about the usage of the scaffolding for the construction activities or the construction purposes. Now the scaffolding is going to be classified based on the construction activities. What are the different types of the different types of scaffolding we are going to be using? So based on that the construction, and based on that the utility. So first one is going to be called a single scaffolding, double scaffolding, cantilever scaffolding, suspended scaffolding, trestle scaffolding, steel scaffolding, and patented scaffolding. So now we are going to be discussing about each and every type of the scaffolding with their uses in the construction. First is going to be called as single scaffolding. In single scaffolding, the term itself is going to be you are giving the meaning as single, means we are going to be using the vertical member, one vertical member, and horizontal members in the depending upon that the height, we are going to be using the horizontal members. That horizontal members we are going to be inserting through the wall or the rigid structure, or we are going to call it as existing structure. We are going to be inserting the horizontal member. Horizontal member we are going to be called as a put log, and vertical member we are going to be called as a standard. So these are, we can say that the component parts of a single scaffolding is, one is vertical member is standard, horizontal member is a put log, and edges we are going to putting as a rigid one, or we are going to call as connectors. Connectors are going to be called as ledges. So the third component part. So single scaffolding where we can able to use. The objective is that one, it is going to be called as brick masonry work. Exclusively the single scaffolding we are going to be using for the brick masonry work, and it is going to be called as a simple type of the scaffolding for lightweight and light constructions, or we can say that the moderate heights we are going to be using as the single scaffolding. The single scaffolding is generally used for brick masonry and is also called as a bricklayer scaffolding. Single scaffolding consists of standards is the vertical member, ledges is going to be called as connectors, put lugs we are going to be called the horizontal members, which is parallel to the wall at a distance of about 1.2 meters. Means for the existing or already developed construction, we are going to be away from that 1.2 meters. We have to be take it out, and we are going to be so put the vertical member, and we are going to put giving the support onto the ground or the existing ground itself. Distance between the standards is about 2 to 2.5 meters. So from the existing construction is 2 to 2.5 meters. Let's just connect the standards at vertical interval of 1 to 1.5 meters. That is the connectors. Put lugs are taken out from the hole left in the wall to one end of the ledges. So from that we are going to be inserting to the masonry work or the existing structure is the put lugs we are going to be inserting, and we are going to be tying up with the vertical member. Putlocks are placed at an interval of 1 to 1.5 meters. So at what distance we have to be keeping the putlocks is 1.2 to 1.5 meters for the accessibility of the labor from one level to the other level. So this is about the features of single scaffolding. How the single scaffolding we are going to be laid, and what is the objective of the using the single scaffolding. This is the figure is going to be explaining you about that. The diagram is going to be explaining about that the component parts. So this is the general view. So that we are going to be called as the front view, and this is you can able to see that the vertical direction, also the plan and elevation. Now we can able to see that the component parts. So the plank and the putlog is the horizontal member, ledger is the connector, and this is we are going to be called the vertical member, that we are going to be called as the standard. Vertical member is going to be called as a standard. The horizontal member is going to be called as a putlog. Planks we are going to be provided, and the ledger is the connector we are going to provide. This is the existing construction. So this is we can able to see that in the three-dimensional view we can able to see that the ground floor, first floor, and second floor, how we are going to be arranging that the standards. This is the standard 1, 2, and 3. They are the vertical members. We are going to be called as the standards, and we are going to be keeping with the rigid support, so that the rigidity we are going to be giving, it is not going to be sliding down while labor is going to be accessing by the using the scaffolding itself. So that the ledges, and these are the inclined members we are going to be called as bracket or the braces we are going to be using. This is about the schematic diagram giving you the explaining about the how the single scaffolding is we are going to be preparing for the construction activity. And this is also one of the another figure is going to be explaining about that. So here we are going to be using almost all this we are going to be called as tubular scaffolding we are going to be using. And this is the brick masonry work is going on. These are the vertical members called the standards, and the horizontal members we are going to be inserting into the masonry is going to be called as the putlocks is the horizontal member, and the people are the working labor is going to be working on the continuous progress of the work. Then the second one is going to be the improvement over the single scaffolding is going to be called as double scaffolding. So what are the disadvantages will be there that is going to be overcome by the double scaffolding. So here we are having that the term itself is going to be giving as a meaning double, means two vertical members or two standards we are going to be using in the form of a ladder, and we are able to work, we are able to give the rigidity to the platform, and the more number of people can able to climb or can able to access by using the double scaffolding. That is the another purpose we are going for the double scaffolding, and this is suitable for the stone masonry work. Previous one, single scaffolding exclusively we are going to be using for the brick masonry work, and double scaffolding is generally used for stone masonry. So it is also called as a mason scaffolding. So why double scaffolding we are going for that one? Stone masonry means it is going to be a framework consisting of the stones. In brick masonry, the framework will be masonry work will be consisting of the bricks. So when compared to the bricks, the stones are very strong. That's why we are unable to keep that the horizontal members. That is we are going to be called as putlocks. We cannot able to insert into that the masonry work. So because of that reason, we are going to be keeping that the two vertical members, and horizontal member is going to be inserting two vertical members. So like a ladder, we are going to be inserting, and the different rows we are going to be keeping that the horizontal member, that we are going to put putlocks to go for the different heights. The accessibility will be there from ground level to the higher level itself. In stone walls, why the double scaffolding in stone walls? It is hard to make holes in the wall to support putlocks, means that is the horizontal member. So two rows of scaffolding is constructed to make it strong. So the first row is 20 to 30 centimeters away from the wall, and the other one is 1 meter away from the first row. So there are the two vertical members that we are going to call as standards. And technically, we are going to call standards. We are going to be giving that the distances. How much distance from the existing construction or the existing work we are going to take it out is that the 20 to 30 centimeters first standard. Then the other one is 1 meter away from the first row. So then the putlocks are placed which are supported by the both the frames. To make it more strong, rackers and cross braces are also provided. So because we have to make it strong and rigidity, we are going to be keeping that the dag or the cross members, or we are going to make a diagonal members to the ground level, and make sure that it is not going to be slippery or it is not going to be sliding down. For that purpose, rackers also or the cross braces also were going to be provided. This is also called as independent scaffolding. Previous single scaffolding is the dependent one with the masonry, but here it is going to be independent. Without using the masonry, we are going to be providing the platform is going to be called as double scaffolding. So this is the features of the double scaffolding. So the figure is going to be showing that how the double scaffolding is going to be prepared for the construction work. So this is the construction work is going to be carrying out. So this is the floor level and this is the first floor level. So ground floor level, this is the first floor level. And this is the one vertical member is going to be called as standard. And this is another vertical member is going to be called as standard. Ledges are is going to be called as connectors. Put log is the horizontal member. And these are the inclined members who are going to be called as rackers and tied with the tightness by using the brackets. So the rigidity we are going to be giving to the platform double scaffolding by using uh, braces the brackets we are going to be putting in the ground level itself, giving the firm position, or we are going to be without sliding. So we are going to be using the rackers and make sure that the double scaffolding is going to be strong and rigid. So this is about the features of the double scaffolding. Then the another one is going to be called as cantilever scaffolding. So the cantilever scaffolding is going to be once again it is going to be giving the meaning cantilever. So in civil engineering, most of the cases we are going to be using simply supported, fixed one, and cantilever one. So here the cantilever is, one end is going to be fixed, another end is going to be free. So that is we are going to call as cantilever type of the structure. So free means it is going to be in the open space we are going to be provided, such that here the scaffolding also we are going to be doing that. In previous cases, if you take the single scaffolding and double scaffolding, what we are going to be doing is one end is going to be inserting into the masonry in the single scaffolding, and double scaffolding we are having that the two columns, that is the two standards, and fixing to the ground level itself. Here, without using the support in the ground, we are going to be supporting through the masonry work or existing construction. The standards, there is the vertical member and a horizontal member, and the inclined members we are going to be rising, and we are going to be make the platform that we are going to be called as cantilever scaffolding. Cantilever scaffolding we are not going to be using the ground as a ground support, and with the support of existing structure, from the structure we are going to be making the platform, or making that the scaffolding is going to be called as cantilever scaffolding. This type of this type of scaffolding in which the standards are supported on series of needles, and these needles are taken out through the holes in the wall. So needles is going to be making the arrangement inside the wall, and we are going to be provided with that the needles we are going to be provided the support is going to be called as vertical standards. This is called a single frame type of the scaffolding. In other type, needles are studded inside the floors through the openings, and this is called independent or double frame scaffolding. Care should be taken while construction of the cantilever. Where or which situations we have to go for the cantilever scaffolding? So generally cantilever scaffolding are used under conditions such as when the ground does not having the capacity to support the standards. Means the ground doesn't have the supporting capability. In that cases, we are not going to be using the ground level or the basement level, and we are going to be using the existing construction. From there we are going to be making the provision for the platform is the one case. And second case is when the ground near the wall is to be free from traffic. Because heavy traffic areas, we want to go for the moderation work. In that cases, so we are going to be using the cantilever scaffolding. When upper part of the wall is under construction, that is the extension work we are going to be carried out. Also, in busy areas or restricted areas, not when there is no possibility there to go for single or the double scaffolding. In that circumstances, we have to go for the cantilever scaffolding. One is in busy areas, and we have to go for the renovation work, or we are going for the extension work. So then the case in that circumstances, we will go for the cantilever scaffolding. So the picture is going to be explaining you about that the how the cantilever scaffolding we are going to preparing for the construction activity. So these are all these the floor levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floor levels, and we can able to, this is going to be called as a needle one, and this is the standard, and this is the standard means the vertical members. These are the horizontal members. These are the inclined members is going to be called as braces. The needle supported through the existing construction, and the horizontal members are all we are going to be called as the putlocks, and the vertical members we are going to be called as standards, and the ledges we are going to be called as connectors. Inclined members we are going to be called as braces. So this how the cantilever scaffolding we are going to be preparing for the construction activity for the one level to the higher level. Here no support or no vertical member is going to be lying on the ground level. So there is almost all it is going to be in open air, and their support we are going to provide through the existing construction. So that is the feature of cantilever scaffolding. And this is also the one, the other picture is going to be showing that how the cantilever scaffolding used for the construction activity. So these are our we are going to be called as inclined members, vertical standards, horizontal members we are going to provide. Completely it is going to be inserting through the existing construction. No member or the vertical member or the horizontal member, inclined member is supporting into the ground. Completely within the construction, in the construction itself. So we are going to be maintaining and we are going to be preparing the platform we are going to be called as the cantilever scaffolding. Then the suspended scaffolding. So this is exclusively we are going to be using for the painting work, repair work, or the maintenance work purpose, or the pointing work we are going to be using is going to be called as suspended scaffolding. The term itself is going to be giving a meaning that suspended means it is going to be suspended from roof level or the top level in terms of the ropes or the chains. And so we are going to be creating a temporary platform. It is going to be suspended, and in that suspended platform the people are working and to carry out the repair works, pointing works, and painting works. In suspended scaffolding, the working platform is suspended from roofs with the help of wire, ropes, or chains, etc. It can be raised or lowered to our required level. This type of scaffolding used for the features is the repair works, pointing, and paintings, etc. So this the picture is going to be giving the showing that how the suspended scaffolding is working. The people are working to go for the maintenance work, repair work. So this is going to be called a suspended one. So this is going to be supported by ropes or the chains. Then the another type of the scaffolding is trestle scaffolding. So trestle scaffolding is going to be called as the ready-made. In trestle scaffolding, the working platform is supported on mobile tripods or ladders. Previously, whatever the scaffolding we discussed, a single scaffolding or double scaffolding or cantilever scaffolding, cantilever scaffolding or the suspended scaffolding, all we are having some type of rigid constructions. But here we are the working platform is supported on mobile tripods and ladders, mobile platform. That is we are going to be called a trestle scaffolding. This is generally used for work inside the room, such as paintings, repairs, etc., up to a height of 5 meters. This is suitable. This type of scaffolding or temporary platform is suitable for the height of 5 meters and to carry out the works of painting and repair works. It is looking like a simple ladder, or it is going to be having the tripod, and can able to keep in which level we require or which position will be required. So the figure is going to be showing that how the trestle scaffolding is going to be using for the painting. So we can able to see that this is the horizontal member and is going to be supported by the inclined members. So this we are having the tripod. This the so the supporting structure we are going to be called as prepared is going to be called as this feature we are going to be called as a tripod. Three legs we are having. With that, the three legs is going to be supporting onto the ground. The fixity and rigidity we are able to achieve by using the tripods. This is the horizontal plank, the platform. So we are going to be using for the access of the people and to carry out the painting work or the repair works. This is also the one form of the scaffolding we are having that so the wheels we are going to be provided to move from one position to the other position, and this is going to be used for the up to height of 5 meters and carry out the maintenance and painting works we are going to be carried out by using the truss scaffolding. So the truss scaffolding is suitable only for light work such as cleaning or the painting. So this picture also is going to be giving you that the explanation of how the truss scaffolding is working. The people is going to work just by using the truss scaffolding. So the objective is that one for cleaning purpose or the painting purposes. Then the another type of the scaffolding is going to be called as steel scaffolding. This is almost all we can say that nowadays we are going to be using that almost all for the multi-story apartments, high-rise buildings, high-rise buildings. We are going to be using the steel scaffolding because already we can able to see that steel scaffolding will be having that. So the fixing of the steel scaffolding, or we can say the another name we are going to call it tubular scaffolding, will be very easy, and it is strong, durable, and long lasting. Durable, or we can say that the long lasting. The steel scaffolding is constructed by steel tubes which are fixed together by steel couplers or fittings. So fitting of the scaffolding will be very easy when compared to the timber or wood scaffolding. Timber or wood scaffolding, horizontal member and vertical member tied with a rope, and then we had to go for the required height. So we are going to be creating a platform. But here we are going to be using couplers and fittings. It will be very easy, and you can go for any height. That is the advantage by using the steel scaffolding, and also we can go for multiple number of usages. There in the timber or wood scaffolding, usage will be single time. We cannot go for the multiple number of times. It is very easy to construct or dismantle. Dismantling also is going to be very easy. It has greater strength, greater durability, and higher fire resistance. It is not economical, but will give more safety for the workers. Not economical means in the case of we are going to be using the material is going to be called as steel tubes. That's why it is going to be called the expensive one when compared to the timber or wood. But nowadays it is going to be the reasonable cost while you are going for the steel tube or the tubular scaffolding. So it is used extensively nowadays. That is the reason each and every construction nowadays they are going preferring for steel or the tubular scaffolding for easy construction and easy dismantling. The figure is going to be showing that how the framework of the steel or the tubular scaffolding, it will go for any height, and the dismantling also is going to be very easy. Then the last type of the scaffolding is we're going to call it patented scaffolding. So patented scaffolding is also more or less is going to be similar to that your truss scaffolding, but we'll be having that adjustment the level. It will go beyond 5 meters. Beyond 5 meters we can able to use. There in truss scaffolding only restricted to height is 5 meters, but beyond 5 meters we can able to use the patented scaffolding. Patented scaffoldings are made up of steel, but these are equipped with special couplings and frames, etc. These are ready-made scaffolding which are available in the market. Truss scaffolding as well as the patented scaffolding is ready-madely available. There is no need to go for the manufacturing at the site, or we are going to preparing at the site itself. So it is going to be called a prefabricated one. Patented scaffolding is going to be called as a prefabricated scaffolding. In this type of scaffolding, working platform is arranged on brackets which can be adjustable to required level. So working platform or the horizontal level, we are going to be adjusted to any level or any height by using the brackets. That is the advantage by using the patented scaffolding. The picture is going to be showing that the patented scaffolding. So this is another picture is going to be so giving you the patented scaffolding. This type of scaffolding is also made using steel. However, these are ready-made scaffoldings and are fitted with special couplings and frames, etc. The ready-made scaffolding are available in market and are ready to use it once bought. When using the patented scaffolding, the working platform is set on brackets. So the brackets, and these brackets can be adjusted to the required level. So we are going to be adjusting such that we can able to extend the height. So the brackets are going to be helpful to made for the adjusting for the required height or required level itself. That is the advantage by using the patented scaffolding. This is one of the timber or the wood scaffolding used for the construction. The schematic representation or the view how the construction is going on by using or by with the help of timber or wood scaffolding. This is the general view of the timber or the wood scaffolding used in the beginning. Nowadays, we are going to be using that the steel or the tubular scaffolding.